I know you all have heard the phrase, everybody makes mistakes, countless times in your life, and maybe even said it to console someone and encourage them to not dwell on a misstep. Sometimes when you aren't listening to those inner voices and the knowing of your own purpose, you can get off track. And even when I know how to listen, sometimes if I don't listen, I get off track really quickly. Life is like a wave, and you ride it through the ups and downs, the steady times, and then you anchor yourself in the storms. A mistake is a life experience designed to move you in a different direction. And a mistake might be more important to your supreme destiny than even a triumph. Know that your life is way bigger than any one experience, so when those mistakes happen, you use them to guide you to the next right move. Learn from it, ask, what is this here to teach me? And then let it go. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. And how do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having at this moment. That knowing has helped me through many a moment. So I want to ask all of you, what mistake or mistakes have you made in your life that you need to, number one, forgive yourself for? And what mistakes turned out to be blessings in disguise? And remember, it's all about progress, not about perfection, because nobody's perfect. It's about progress. The power of staying present. Because I believe that when you're fully present, that's when you're actually fully alive. When you need to focus on what to do or what to do next, the focus is just that. The now becomes your everything. Now, this is what I know, that it's one of the most impactful spiritual practices, knowing the power of now. Living integrity means living in a way that honors your truest self. It's doing the thing that you know you're supposed to do. Only you know what that feels like for you. Everything we've covered in the past several weeks. Examine any moments when your head saying one thing and your spirit is saying another. Letting go of energy that's clouding your vision and holding you back. The energy that you put into constantly rewinding to the resentment only keeps you stuck. It will never change what happened. You gotta press stop and reject the urge to keep replaying so that you can then fast forward into the now for yourself. Expecting people to do what you would do in a situation only leads to your disappointment. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. To channel your inner Dorothy and think about where you feel most at home. Try to finish the sentence. When I think of home, I think of a place where, fill in the blank. What about that space makes you feel at home? And if you're not feeling that, what can you add to the space you're in right now to bring you a greater sense of comfort at home? This week, think about what you can do to create that, because this is what I know. Everybody deserves to feel at home and to be home with themselves. Bring yourself some comfort in your home. I'm never closed to new ideas, producing new television dramas for OWN, traveling, speaking once COVID loosens its noose. Age is whatever number you choose to feel. Past is gone, future's not promised to anybody. And what can you do when you've done all you can? You just stand. You deserve peace. What can you do this week to take a stand for peace in your own life and the lives of those that you love? Now would be the perfect time to ask, what are you waiting for? What's the dream that you've been putting off pursuing until you have more money, or you have more courage, or you have more time? You can work your fingers to the bone, scrimp and save to build your nest egg. You can work the nerve to take a big leap, but you cannot work to add more time to the clock or guarantee more days in your life. All death teaches us, I believe, about life. If it's a teensy tiny step, take that step now. Don't wait. Your legacy is every life that you've touched, and we like to think of it. I know you have done amazing things with your philanthropy. Internal strength and internal courage it takes to say, no, I will not let you treat me this way.
is what success is all about. You are worthy to say no. That it's okay if you say no. It's okay if you say no and then people don't like you. That's really okay. The important thing is how you feel about what you're doing, how you feel about yourself. It's a long struggle though. It's a long struggle. And I'm just hoping that, in the work that I do on the show and the speaking that I do around the country, and that young people who are watching this can get the lesson sooner than I did. Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. It's just an experience. Create the highest, grandest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe. If you were to ask me, what is the secret to my success? It is because I understand that there is a power greater than myself that rules my life. If you can connect yourself to the source and allow the energy that it is your personality, your life force, to be connected to the greater force, anything is possible for you.
Everybody, the thing that worked for me all these years, whether it was the magazine, or which I still have, or whether it was the show, I understood that there's a common denominator in the human experience. And I want the same thing you want, which is the same thing you want and you want. What we all want is to be able to live out the truest, highest expression of ourselves as a human being. I feel that until you have used your value as a human being, you're not done.
We have to make the choice every single day to channel our own inner Jacindas, to exemplify the truth and the respect and the grace that we actually wish for the world. We need to tell it, as we're doing at this conference. We need to write it. We need to sing it. We need to proclaim it. We need to be it. We need to be the truth. We have to be the respect. We have to be the fierceness, the love that we want to see. And when we do that, mark my words, a change is already coming. Everything you try to do is already done. So when I figured that out, what I'm putting out is what's coming back, let me get real clear about what it is I'm putting out. Before you even think about a thing, you have an intention for the thing. And that the intention is going to determine the outcome. The intention with which you give, the intention with which you serve determines the outcome. So when I figured that out, I went, whoa! I changed everything I did on my show. I called in the producers and I said, from this day forward, I will no longer be speaking to the KKK. I use this principle of intention for everything. I don't do anything without thinking about what is the real reason. What is the real motivation? What is the energy of my intention that's going to go into my thoughts and action and then be returned back to me? I teach them that there is no life without cultivating a spiritual life, because you are first and foremost a spiritual being having a human experience. And if you lose sight of that, it's easy to get lost in the world, and no one can save a world that they're lost in when they've lost sight of their own North Star. It is your job to make yourself whole. Not perfect, but whole.